Kevin, thanks for joining us. Trip to Grimsby at the weekend. How's the preparation been for that one?
Yes, the preparation has been very good. It was last week as well. The players train really well. Their attitude's excellent. There's really good intensity and really good environment here. But we know where we are in the league, and we know we need to pick up performances and results. And we're doing everything we can every single day to improve that. And I won't and I can't criticise the players for their endeavours and their attitude, but we need to start picking up points very quickly. And we've been really pleased with the training, but it's what counts on the Saturday. And if we can put in a performance like we did on second half against Stevenage and replicate that in the coming games, then we will get what we want, and that's results. And they were excellent in the second half against Stevenage. Every single player putting in a fantastic shift, and again it was heartbreaking to lose that game. We've had a couple of those moments where we played really well in the second half, and it looks like we're the only team that's going to win the game, and we get sucker punched and lose the game. So, but we got to look positive, and the second half was excellent. And if the players do that continually, we won't be in the position that we're in going forward.
Yeah, I suppose it's tricky, isn't it? Because as you said there, in the second half it did look like only team was going to come away with 3 points. But one decision that was very similar to one that we weren't given in the first half. We end up losing the game. And when you look at it, I suppose a point against Highflying Stevenage, they were third in the table at the time. They played again Tuesday night. They won. They're right up there for promotion this season. You consider that a really good point, don't you? And it almost affects the mood of the lads, I suppose, as you approach another tricky game against Grimsby.
Yeah, I think the players know now that league positions in this division doesn't count for anything in terms of how good we can be. We've played Leyton Orient. It was a really dominant display in that game, which we should have won. We lost 1-0. We played Northampton again at home. They had a dominant display second half, and we got done. We lost 3-2. They're teams at the top of the division, and and another one in Stevenage on last Saturday. So we shouldn't be going into games with any fear of who we're playing and what level in the league. We just got to worry about ourselves. Let's not get worried about referee decisions. That's nothing we can control. We've just got to control how much better we can manage games and how much more clinical we need to be in the final third. And if we took the chance that we had at 1-1 in the second half, we end up with 3 points, or at least a draw. But the players know how good they can be against any team. But we know every single game we need to fight, we need to compete. And Stevenage was a really good marker in terms of the level of competitiveness and the level of discipline we have to believe from set plays, because they're a really physical side. They load the box and they're really good at what they do, and to play like we did in that game and nullify them to very minimal chances in the second half especially was really pleasing.
James Balaghese was out on international duty. We've obviously had some very unfortunate news that he's come back, picked up a bit of an injury, and he's going to have to go back to Liverpool for some tests. He's going to be out for the weekend, and I suppose we're just sort of hoping that the results of these tests are as positive as possible, because it looks like he could be out for some time.
Yeah, it's extremely disappointing, but not something that we've been used to in the time here. This one was picked up on international duty with England, and it's another key player for us that we're going to be missing. So other players are going to have to come in and take responsibility. James has been a key player for us since we signed him, and will be missed. But it gives an opportunity to another player, and but we have been really unfortunate with some injuries that we've had this season. But really positively, we've got 2 outstanding senior players back for this game this weekend, and we look forward to welcoming them back again.
Yeah, we spoke about it after the game as well. Joel Lynch coming back against Stevenage. How much of an impact does he have to your side, not just on the pitch but off it as well?
Yeah, well, Lynch, he's played at the highest level. Fantastic character, fantastic leader, and a really good player. Anyone that watched the Stevenage game in his first game back, he was exceptional in the game, and he gives us a real solidity and quality on the ball as well. So again, you have top players that the club have available and fit. You can see the level can raise from the group.
Yeah, and obviously I feel like I've been saying this every week that we travel away. There's more train strikes this week. There's more issues, but there's still expected to be a good number of Crawley fans up there, and I suppose we just salute everyone going up there. And the message is, again, just get behind the team. They'll do the best for you.
100%. It's we thank them for their travel. We thank them for their commitment to the club and to the players. We thank them for their voice in good times and bad. And in this phenomenal commitment that they've given the football club, and we will try and put on a really good performance that they can be proud of, and go home happy. We haven't been that good in terms of our results away from home on some occasions this season, and we need to try and pick up with results and performances home and away, and we know where we are, and we're fully focused on trying to make the fans happy, make the players happy, and make us all happy. We just want to be successful.
Brilliant. We know Preston Johnson's over here at the moment. I'm imagining you've had a few conversations with him. How have those conversations gone this week?
Yeah, very good. The ownership group are extremely supportive to the football club and what they've invested in here so far. Eben and Preston and all the ownership group we have a really good relationship, and we want to do well for the football club. I want to do well for them. They put a lot of trust and faith in me. I want to repay them. We've done a lot of stuff together off the pitch that have helped the football club. There's been a lot of them, fantastic things that were already here at the football club before I arrived. We're just slowly just trying to help in other ways that we can, and they've been outstanding at doing that. What I do know is, we want this club to be really sustainable on and off the pitch, and we have a clear idea of what we want to do. At this point in time, we're not where we want to be. Results haven't given us that platform to be that. So I understand, in terms of the supporters and people outside, where we are in the league is not where we want to be, and things can change in football because results determine everything. But hopefully, with time we'll be given, we can put this little thing behind us and make it a real experience that we can take going forward. Imagine if we get through this period, it's only going to be upwards. Yeah. It really will, because we've gone through a really tough time as a staff, as players, as club. But if we can push through this and really fight with each other, and to push every little percentage out of us, it's going to be a really good thing. But I'm fully, realistic with the life of a football manager.
Yeah, I mean, personally, do you feel under pressure?
When you become a football manager, every day is pressure. It's how you deal with it, and my role responsibility is to make sure there's no pressure on the players. They have to go and perform with a clear mind. I'm happy to take anything that comes my way. That's part of the game, and I'm fully unaware of that. And I've been in the game 25 years at numerous levels to understand. What counts is what happens on that pitch on a Saturday, and picking up results and performances. And I know it can turn within game by game, and I'm fully confident and have huge belief in the players and everyone at the club. We can turn this round.
And what are you expecting challenge-wise from Grimsby this weekend?
Yeah, good side. Paul Hurst is really experienced at non-league level and also League Two. He got a good job after some success to Ipswich. That experience didn't quite work out for him, but he's taken Grimsby, again last season positively, got promoted, and they're a good side. They've got some good players, and at home it's always a really difficult place to go. But we fully focus. We know their threats and there's some areas to exploit for us, and we'll hopefully put in a really good performance and come up with some points.
Lovely, thanks, Kevin.
Pleasure.
Well, Dom, trip to Grimsby this weekend. How's the preparation been for that one?
Yeah, it's been good this week. It's no secret we're not done what we set out to do in the league so far, but we're preparing well. Looking forward into Saturday. The boys are in high spirits, and we're going for the 3 points.
One of our longest trips this season. Is it good to get a whole week on the training ground before you go there? Obviously, we know how much of an impact travelling has on the lads, so I can imagine it's nice to just get a full week of training into the legs.
Definitely, yeah. And when you've got Tuesday games, because the schedule's so busy, it's nice to have that 3 week to get the information across, and just drilling to us players what needs to be done, and we can take that into the Saturday a bit more fresh, ready to go.
I spoke to the gaffer just before this, and he said, obviously, again, just reiterating the message that second half against Stevenage, we thought there was only one team that was going to come away within 3 points. One decision that goes against us that maybe we should have had in the first half, and all of a sudden we lost. And that point seems a really good point, doesn't it, against a top three side like Stevenage? And I can imagine it would have given the lads a great deal of confidence heading into this one.
Definitely, yeah. I think it's one of them things when things aren't happening for you, it sort of snowballs. So You know, we could have had a penalty as well, and it was just one of them things. I think if you're at the top of the league or near the top like they are, then you get them decisions. But you know, we've got to sort of create our own luck and turn it round, because you know, no one will feel sorry for us, and you know, we've got to stand up and be counted for.
Yeah, we seem to be saying this quite a lot, don't we? That we're not necessarily always the worst of the two sides. You know, we normally have a spell where we are on top, but we just don't seem to be picking up that, you know, those results, whether it be due to decisions or, you know, other factors. But do you think the good run of form is just around the corner?
Definitely, yeah. I think, you know, it's a knack turning good performances into victories, and you know, the best teams win when they're not quite at it. You know, so I think, you know, it's been frustrating when, you know, we've shown what we can do and come away with nothing or come away with a point. I think you know, it's only a matter of time before we turn them performances into points, because you know, we all want the same thing, and it's just as frustrating as it is to probably watch us at times. You know, it's frustrating for the players to not be getting them results, and you know, putting smiles on people's faces who are paying to come and watch us. That's what we want to do at the end of the day, and you know, it's just as frustrating for us. But you know, I've got no doubt we will turn it around.
Yeah, on a personal level, obviously off the mark against Stockport. I suppose for you, it's just about adapting to this new system. You know, slightly different than you played last year. You used to obviously get the ball in the 6-yard box. And how have you been finding the change, obviously, since the start of the season?
Yeah, I think you know, in any transitional period, it takes time. You know, there's a new group of players, and you know, for not just me but for everyone, it's finding what people are good at and what runs to make when people are on the ball, and certain people, and what all that type of stuff. And yeah, it's just finding that consistency for me now. You know, I back my ability. I always have done and always will do. And I know, you know, when them chances come, that they'll be getting tucked away, a bit like Stockport really. So it's, you know, it was great to get off the mark, but I want to be doing it on a consistent basis.
Yeah, obviously the fans have been great this season. You know, we've seen, you know, great travelling numbers to pretty much every away day. There's going to be more train strikes this weekend. There's going to be trouble, but it's just a case of saluting the fans that do, you know, get to make the trip up, isn't it? And I'm sure they'll be right behind us.
Definitely, yeah. And I think it's, you know, it's a bit cliche that players appreciate the fans and all that, but we really do appreciate it. And you know, especially like we feel their pain when we're not doing well. That comes with the territory and comes with the pressure, and you know, we are standing up and being counted for. And I think it's important for them to know that, you know, they matter to us, you know, and we want to get 3 points for them as much as for us, whether it's at home or away. You know, we appreciate what they do for us, and you know, it does go a long way.